there's some type of wind thing happening. Weather damage. The structure's being damaged by weather. Is it? It's a rainy spring day. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 working on our city of Second City. And in the last part, somebody had suggested that one of the ways I could improve some of our services to our city would be by building a road maintenance depot, which will maintain the operations of the roads, their tools and their vehicles. They comprise of road repairs, snow clearing, and traffic accident cleanup. I am noticing that we don't really have a lot of traffic accident cleanup. I was thinking this could fit really nicely over here in this industrial sector. What is this place called? This is Warehouse Bend. So I think over here would look pretty nice, and we could probably just sneak this in here. I think if we just take an alleyway, let's put it right in the middle. We're going to destroy one building, which I'm fine with that. And if we sent this out far enough, could we place this here without destroying everything else? Oh, we can. Okay. Now, the real question is, see, this needs to come up further because we have this extra exit here. But if we were to send this kind of all the way over, okay, let's try it this way. Because I don't want you guys driving on the grass. But then we connect this up like so. And then why don't we keep angle snap on. Let's just turn out a little road here so that they have the option to turn around if they want. And we'll even put a tree in there. But that way we just have an additional way for people to move around. And then what is this upgrade here? Provides more space for a larger fleet. I don't think we need this just yet. But what does it cost? Okay, so this is all costing us about $54,000 a month, $55,000 a month. All right, so while we let that kind of just do what it's going to do, we'll see if that improves the roads. The thinking behind that is that with better roads, we're going to be able to have things move faster. So trash trucks can get to places quicker. Emergency vehicles can get where they need to go without having so many just problems. Now, what I want to focus on today really is education. We've got a ton of people eligible for really every level of education. The elementary schools, we only have one, right? No, we have two. We have two elementary schools, and both of them are completely at max capacity. High school, we have one. That's got 2 upgrades, and that's nearly at capacity. 2 more students. That'll be full. And then we also need colleges and universities. I don't think we can afford all of that, but we absolutely could go in and afford a city elementary school. It's $150,000 to build. What about a city high school? $300,000. We could technically afford that as well. The college, the only one we could afford would be the Modern Community College. It does have half of the capacity of the regular college, but it still has a capacity of 5,000 people. We only have 1,400 that are eligible, almost 1,500. I don't want to incur more expenses until we've built out a larger tax base. We're seeing demand basically across the board. So I think what I want to do is spend a little time building out some of our services or some of our zoning. I think let's start with taking this guy right here. I don't know what this little lane is called, but we're going to bring this road straight on out. Let's put a cul-de-sac right on the end here. Then we're going to limit any zoning along this backside here. And let's just fill this out with, you know what, actually, let's get rid of this cul-de-sac. Let's take this road further. Like if this were to go to here, and can we still fit a cul-de-sac? We can. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I think here we're just going to do medium density row homes. We know we have demand for that. Once we start getting over here into Briarwood Downs, I do think we need to consider beginning to change the height a little bit of our buildings, at least for now. Again, we can always come back and change that up, but for now, I do want to keep some of these buildings relatively small. Let's fill all of this with low density zoning. Let's fill both of these with low density zoning as well as this section. So now we've got more than enough low density. It looks like medium density has even been addressed as well. We could go with a little bit more business. And I'm starting to think that this road here, Myrtle Street, since it's becoming such a major road, I'm thinking having some of these single family homes as well as some of these roads here doesn't make a ton of sense. So I want to go to the mixed use housing. let's just do a selection here. We have some business here. I think why don't we just fill this whole edge with medium density, not medium density, mixed use housing. We'll fill that in there. That's going to destroy both of those demands. We have a little space left. So let's actually retrofit that into an office, which is going to help us some of that office demand as well. Although we might actually have way more office demand than I think we do. Nope, now it's going down. We also have some high density demand, and we've been building a lot of these low rent housing, but I wouldn't mind maybe giving one of these buildings, one or two of them at least, an upgrade so that we have maybe a larger building cropping up somewhere. We're going to delete what we have there. We're going to get our first skyscraper in this city. It'll be the only one probably for a little bit here. And I think we could also go with some more low rent housing. Do I want to try to do something long, or do I want to do something... See, if we do it here, I would want to use the French style ones. I just use them right here. Do I mind having more of them? I mean, not really. You're next to a highway exit. Yeah, let's do the French style ones. I know that's what we keep building. But in particular, these guys are just maybe my favorite building in the whole game. We got a little extra there. That's great. We do still need a bit more office. Maybe over here. Maybe we consider getting rid of these homes. Get rid of that zoning there. Sorry, guys. And then I think over here we'll do the same. We'll put more business along really this whole block. And let's just remove the homes that are here. Let's let that fill in on its own. That'll give us a bit more commercial. And then I think that's pretty decent. Okay, so while we're still letting our money move up, people are starting to move in. I think what we'll do is we'll do some road work here along this hill. Now, someone had mentioned in the comments it would be great if when we built our college, we built it up at the top of the hill. I had already placed all this industrial like in real time before that video went out, and you guys saw it, and then someone made that comment. In hindsight, great comment, although I do like that there's an ore industry here that we're accessing. Why are we having sewage problems? What is this? Sewage facility overload. Hold on, pause. Okay, sewage production 78, processing 78. Let's first check how much money we're spending on water and sewage. The budget is not all the way there. So let's move this up to, let's just move it to 100, call it a day. What impact does that make here? Processing 100, water availability 156. Okay, I'm happy with that. I am also going to, if I anarchy this, let's just try something really fast. If I anarchy this and I just were to take a water pipe all the way out here, it would cost me $5,000 to do that. Let's do it. Am I able to access like water trade if I just connect out to the outside world? Like we're producing more. Oh, great. Okay. I know technically we don't own that land, but there's no way for me to buy all these tiles to start trading that. Okay. So we'll start seeing that make an impact on our profits as well. Okay. Small crisis averted. Let's continue to build out this area here. So I thought about the college up here. I think that's a great idea, but unfortunately we'd already started doing some building here. I'm thinking instead this section of Middle Peak might be a great place for the college, because I could also have the college buy up the neighboring land and we could build a field or something next door to this and remove some of those houses as we continue to expand. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and do a little bit of road work here. We've got a pretty decent curve that we need to be mindful of. And I don't want to have too much of, let's turn off anarchy, too much of an issue with our slope. So I want to be just careful with what we do here. Let's switch it over to continuous. And let's just start kind of curving around the bend. And then here, I think we'll go straight on out. And then let's also do, this area here is pretty flat. I might actually be more forgiving there. I think here we could do another road, and I would want it to mirror essentially what we've got going on with the road just above it. Let's bring this to here, then to here, and then bring it over. There we go. Okay, and then we'll send this guy straight on in. Fantastic. So now we're kind of filling in this hillside in somewhat of a more realistic way. I think here, even with this slope, if I were to go to here, the slope is only negative 3.1, 3.7. I think we could probably get away with doing something a little bit more gridded in this section. Now, with this being such a tight turn that way, let's go ahead and give this a medium roundabout right there. I think we have another one over here. Oh, that's a large, I think. But that way we can get people moving a little bit more seamlessly. And we're kind of up here on the hillside. We're coming out of the major downtown part of the city. I could see us, let's do 2 times speed. I could see us doing a few alleyways, but actually what I think I would rather do, let's take this out just a little bit straight here. And then let's turn this over this direction. We'll take another one out this way, send it to here. And I don't want to go up this direction too much, so we'll leave it just like that. I think that's fine. Let's do 2 cul-de-sacs on both ends. And in this area, we might actually leave that somewhat open. That could be a great place for a school to service both of these areas. Boulder Hill is here, so this actually doesn't have a neighborhood yet. So we got to think about that. Let's expand the connections a little bit more. I think that we could forego any connection here. I wouldn't mind maybe bringing this road. Actually, this could just come straight up. It doesn't even need to connect all the way into the rest of this. I don't know why that impacted the zoning there, but that's for you guys to figure out. This one could also come straight on down. Let's just turn on all of our snap twos, and we're going to send this straight down from here. It's definitely going to impact some of that zoning. But now we've got a bit more zoning along that edge. Now, with this in mind, over here in Boulder Hill, we had these alleyways that were cutting through. And I think what I want to do, the alleyways ended with a roundabout. I think I want to do something similar in this section. We're going to send this straight on through. And that's it. We only had 2? Oh, wow. Far less than I thought. Okay, so what that's going to allow us to do, go back to these UK low density. We can fill in all of these 2 tile roads. Actually, I could probably just do it like this. Keep these 2 tile because I'm going to have to come back through and do a bunch of rock work. Oh my gosh. Luckily, it is about to start snowing where I live, which means that I got nothing else I have to do today. So if I have to spend a few hours doing some rock work, that's fine. So now we've got a bit more housing here. It's going to match this housing pretty much for the most part. We do have some larger homes here. Some of them are 2 tiles, some of them are 3 tiles, which is great. This is UK medium density semi-detached. Oh, I did low density. Hold on. Sorry, guys. You all have to go. We want UK medium density semi-detached housing. Okay, hold on. UK medium density semi-detached housing. Or we could do terraced housing. Let's do terraced housing and see what we get. All right, there we go. We're going to get a whole new swath of buildings there. Now, up in this area, I think I wouldn't mind going a little bit larger with some of these buildings. So why don't we go ahead and just slap down a big square and see what we get. I have no idea. UK style small apartments. That might be too large. Actually, I can tell you right now, it's going to be too large. Let's cut back on how much zoning is there and see what we get from that little piece. And then we could do some more of the terraced housing, but let's send the terraced housing all the way back. Let's let that be a little bit larger. Let's see what it looks like. The terraced housing here, no, these are all old. Let's just delete all of these. I want to see what one comes in and what it looks like. Oops, sorry, buddy. We still have demand for medium, which is just kind of insane to me. Let's do a bit more mixed use housing now that we're up here. We could go along here and just slap down 2 buildings there together. I don't like this zoning here. So can we upgrade this portion? We can. Great. I don't want anyone zoned there at all, just because you're too close to the roundabout for me. All of that zoning looks good. Force that zoning on the inside. And now that we've got construction over here, we can go ahead and start taking these constraints off. Unkey most of that. We're going to lose 1 or 2 houses here or there. That's okay. It's bound to happen. We're going to keep that on there. Over here we can remove... Well, hold on. We've got an opportunity here. Remove this zoning that was here. Let's put down another path. Let's go ahead and put down a terraced housing right there. Great, remove that. Oh, wow, yeah, look, I really like that. Looks like 3 units here all together. This holds 3 households, 5 residents. Each of them have their own little backyard, which is beautiful. I think it's a nice upgrade from these because these are nice, right? But as we're moving over here, I like that we've got a little bit of a difference. And I also like that these have different shingle types on each of the homes. Now, some of the yards are a little ridiculous, but you don't get too close. Once we put rocks in there and some trees, you're not even going to notice. I don't know if I want to do zoning on this just because of the way that these squares are set back. I think that would look particularly ridiculous. So that's probably going to be trees. And now we've got just like a bit of a little commercial district over here. This is feeling a little too large. I don't think that's exactly what I was looking for. This was mixed use. So let's do this. Let's remove this. I don't think we have really any demand for anything else. But if I make this too deep, as well as this one too deep, that's going to be better, I think. Just going to look a little bit nicer. Now, I don't think we're going to get away with sliding a path between these without ruining that zoning. But what we can do is put one right behind it. This I will snap to the side of the building. There we go. And then once we fill this in with trees and everything, this is going to look fantastic. I could get into having some offices up here. Maybe right along here could be another office building. And then could we fit in some type of park? Right in this area? Like something... Doesn't have to be super large, but I would like to see a little something over this way. Let's do them right here into the center. We'll place a path right along the back. Make this very walkable section. There we go. And then I think we'll put some trees in here, fill this in. That's going to look pretty nice. I need to extend this tree wall a little bit to kind of hide some of that industrial we've got going on there. Here, I think we could do a little bit more commercial just along the edge for both of these. And then in this area here, because we've still got that crazy hill, we've ended the little alleyway kind of lane separation, but we still have a pretty decent grade change. So what I'm going to do, we'll go 3 back, although I don't believe any of these zone 3. Do terraced zone 3? They do. So actually, we'll make this terraced style housing. Send these 3 back where they want. Here we'll also do 3, but I think we could get away with it a little bit over here and just smooth out some of the land as necessary. And then here we'll do the same. We're going to do 3 total, or 3 deep. And I bet you I could probably just smooth some of this now that I'm looking at it. And I think I'm going to leave this section completely unzoned, this area along Spring Street, because in my mind, there's not a ton of people living in this strip. So this could be a great place for us to run a train line in the future. So let's keep these 3 setback 3 tiles. But I think at certain points we'll have to stop. Like I want to have trains running right through here. So now all of this is going to get zoned out. That's great. We're expanding that tax base some. We still have some demand. And so what I would like to do is go back over to our row homes. Let's just fill in some really large row homes along there. We'll do some really large row homes along here as well. Actually, in both of those squares, I don't see why not. We could get away with a bit more commercial kind of along Summit Street, although this really is our main road. So I'd say let's put the commercial along this stretch of road here. And then this little section could all be offices. But I think I want to try something a little different in this square. So instead of having the offices along the main road, I want to have them come off of... Let's have them come off of Summit Street. Let's go just like this. Bam. We could either do a roundabout or a cul-de-sac. Both of them essentially create the same issue where they really truncate what is possible with this road. I think we just leave it and let people figure it out on their own. They can turn around. Now we've got all of our zoning set along Mill Street. This is all going to become offices. And now for the first time in a while, I think we've actually started to address demand for real. So with that, we've got a larger tax base now. Let's quickly take a second to look over some of our key services. Electricity, we're doing okay. Sewage and water, we're doing okay. Are we making money from the service export of water? Making $4,000 a month. That's not bad. We're still making far more with our electricity, but I'll take it. Healthcare, we're fine, 57. And then garbage management, the processing status is really low, but everyone is green right now, and I don't see people complaining. Now I think we can finally start addressing some of our education. Let's look into, I think we'll start with the elementary schools because we have so many people moving into our city that we need to make sure we at least give them a baseline education. So let's do a city elementary school. Actually, let's do it this way. This building here, you're functioning both in Wilmar and Melonville, and you're at full capacity. So you're in both of these districts. If I click on Wilmar, Wilmar has 1,100 children, and uneducated is 834. At the moment, Melonville has 947 uneducated people. So either way, this school is entirely too small. We could put on a extension wing. It would cost an additional $4,000 a month. I think we want to do that, but I think we want to limit this to only operate in Melonville. Now if I click on it, operating districts, it's technically right outside of Melonville. We could even extend Melonville over, but I think that's going to function for this neighborhood here. Wilmar is going to need its own school as well. So let's go ahead and grab, I think, the city elementary school. It can house 1,500 students. And I think we could find a place to stick this in. This building here is never having enough customers. And I know that it's adding to our city. It was free to build, so I actually have no problem with removing this for now. And I think instead we're going to use this area to place down our elementary school. Now we could either A, place it along Robbins Avenue, which is somewhat of a major road. It's going to impact one building, or we could place it along, what is this, Green Street. It's going to knock down two buildings and kind of remove the opportunity for us to have any zoning along there. Or we could place it facing Mellon Street, delete 3 buildings, but I think have the back of the school facing this area, which is a little bit nicer in my opinion. Let's remove the little bit of zoning that we had there. And now we do have this extra space that we could place something in. I think, yeah, we could fit a basketball court just fine in there. A skate park's a little too large. The gym's a little bit too small. That's too large. What is this? A large playground. Same upkeep as the other. This has +5 outdoor recreation, and so does the basketball court. That's a little too big. I think most of the larges are going to be too large. All right, I think we know what we're doing here. I think we're going to do a basketball court. Or it might be nice to have a little playground here. We'll do a small playground, and then we'll also come in here with a nice little oak tree. I saw it for a second there. There we go. Get an oak, get another tree, just fill in that section. Beautiful. And it's got parking along the back. This is now only going to operate in Wilmar. I hope that's enough. I have no idea. And then we have this school over here, which is operating in Longview, Briar Downs, and Horsham Flats. So I can tell you right now, there's no way that's going to work. It has 600 students. Longview alone has 600 students. So I think we need to change this up. This is going to need to not operate in Horsham Flats or Briarwood. It's only operating now in Longview. Let's give this neighboring circular area a district as well. Let's see how many people currently live in these two areas combined, because I think we could probably get one school for both of them. I've been trying really hard not to use anarchy when I'm building my districts. I think all around is going to make things easier. There's some type of wind thing happening. There was no alert of this. Weather damage. The structure's being damaged by weather. Is it? It's a rainy spring day. So hopefully that passes. All right. Willow Terrace and Boulder Hill. Boulder Hill is a gated community. I think Willow Terrace will be as well. They have 110 uneducated and Boulder Hill has 159 uneducated. You love the weather. Well, people are facing weather damage for some reason, so I think you might be the only one. We could probably do a community school here, if we're being real. It costs $6,000 a month, which is far cheaper than some of these others. The elementary school holds 1,000. I mean, the elementary school, it's pretty large, but that could look kind of nice. I know that, there was a suggestion of doing the college up here. But what if instead we did an elementary school right at the top of the hill? It's only going to operate in these two districts. And I think off camera, or maybe in a short time lapse here, I'll do all of our rock work as well as do another line of trees here just to put a barricade between this industrial and these communities. We're going to have to let this have just a second to start populating. But I am going to expand some of these districts out just a bit. You're taking a minute to fill up. That's okay. This guy literally filled up instantly. Costs $107,000 to run this building. I would say I'm fine with giving you an extension. $10,000 a month for an extra 500 kids. You only function in Wilmar. There's 764 uneducated, 1,260 poorly educated. Yet you somehow have 1,500 students. But neither the number of students who are uneducated or poorly educated, I guess they maybe combine the two? We don't even have that many students in this area. Let's build one more elementary school. We've got the main core area filled with students. This elementary school here, which operates in far too many districts, it's not going to operate in Dickinson Narrows or Briarwood. It's only going to operate in Elizabeth Crossing, which should be fine. We're going to have to keep an eye on enrollment at that school there. It only costs $41,000 for the small elementary school, even with the cost of staff. I think Horsham Flats and Bedford Meadows are going to have a lot of students in them. So I would say it's going to cost another $100,000 every month. We can absorb the cost for now. We could probably do another city elementary school because really you just can't beat the capacity. And this building, it is cheaper. All around though, oh wow, actually no, all around it's so much cheaper. This is $107,000 a month. It employs 50 people. This only employs 15. It has a capacity of 1,000 by default. This has a capacity of 1,500. Somehow we go from 15 to 50. Could I even fit a regular elementary school over here? I don't know if I can. I want to reserve this for college. Or maybe the college, you know what? The college could actually start taking over some of this farmland, which would mean this could go right along here. Yeah. And I think it will function in Middle Peak, Dickinson Narrows. Let's go ahead and give it Horsham and Bedford Meadow, and let's see what happens. I don't know if that's going to be sustainable, but we're going to give it, we're going to let it try. All right, we do have a lot of people moving in, so there is bound to be some traffic here. A lot of people are coming off of the main highway and moving over and down into the city. I think I could be fine with adding in another exit just to help move people around a little bit. What if we had a second exit there just for those who are kind of going this direction versus trying to go this direction? I mean, a little bit of gridlock, but it's going to happen. We also have a light here, which I think we could consider while we have such a huge influx, and because this road's not really going to see an end to that type of influx since it's our main entrance, turn this first road into a 3-lane road, allowing for people to have a dedicated turn lane. I like that. Is anybody using that other one? Oh, look, I do that and now it's gone. Okay, we've got our budget in the positive still. We're getting some people educated with our elementary schools. I think we now need to look at high schools. And look at that, our elementary capacity actually is almost meeting the demand. Almost. Not exactly, but close. So the only high school we have is the Lafayette Street Small High School. It can hold up to 600 people. It has 2 extensions, and it's just not meeting the demand of the area. So what I think we're going to do, it's currently functioning in far too large of a swath of land. But what I think we're going to do is we're actually going to make a bit of an adjustment here. So what we're going to do is remove this high school. Actually, we're going to move the high school. In real life, we would, knock it down and then build a new one in its place. I think we're going to just move this high school since we've already built it before, and we're going to place it somewhere else that's going to be a bit better for our community. I actually think this block here would be a much better place for this high school. Now, to make this work, I don't even know where I'm at. To make this work, we're going to have to get rid of both of these extension wings because the actual setup here is going to be slightly different. This block here of Summit and Poplar, I think we're going to place the high school right here in the center. I like having this extra bit of like a walkable area. We can put 2 trees there. That would look nice. So we're going to place this here. We're going to remove all of its operating districts. And we are going to add back on 2 of these buildings. So we still have the same capacity, but now it's going to function in Briar Downs, Elizabeth Crossing. We can have it function in Willow Terrace, Middle Peak, and Dickinson Narrows. This high school is functioning kind of this half of the city. I don't think it's going to be able to support that many kids, but that's okay. And I think we're going to actually get rid of the little bit of zoning that we put behind it. Unfortunately, that was relatively new zoning, but it had to go. Let's just give this a little bit of tree coverage here. Make it look a little nice. So now we've got a new high school. It's still called Lafayette Street High School. We're going to call this Poplar High School because it's on Poplar Street. Okay. And Poplar High School is at full capacity, but that's okay. I can't really fit any more of these extensions, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Over here, we now have this block that's open, and along here we've got 3 commercial buildings, but nothing too substantial. So let's look at our options for a high school. All right, the small high school can hold up to 400 students. We know that's not enough because we had to add 2 extension wings. We had a capacity for 600 with the other one. This one here costs $22,500 a month, costs $300,000 to place down. However, it's a bit too large, even in this current context. So I think what we need to do, these buildings cost exactly the same and they have the same capacity. I think we need to put a city high school. It's going to fit pretty nicely in this area, and it's going to allow us to help a lot more kids. If we were to set the operating district here for Bedford, Mellonville, Horsham Flats, let's set it for these 3 and let's see what happens. I mean, I really want to just capture Longview and Wilmar as well. I think we're just going to do it. And we're just going to do it, and it's going to be at overcapacity. That's fine. I think we need to have it. We can now do a little bit of extra zoning in here. We could consider extending this high lane, which, you know what? Now that I say it, it's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to bring high lane down to here. Send it straight on over. Send it straight down. Force everybody to live here in the middle just for a moment. This can all be row homes. This can 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 all just be row homes facing this way. Along here, we'll place some this way, and we'll also place some this way. Really has destroyed any outstanding demand for this, which is actually great. Just for the sake of making this look better, wherever we can, let's try to sneak in some trees. I actually want to put a key wall along this back road, mainly just because I think it looks nice having some type of barrier because there's a highway right over there. That's great. Okay, this little area is now filling in. Bedford Meadow City High School has got 177 students. It's operating in this half of the city, and Poplar High School is functioning in this half. I'm realizing now Boulder Hill has absolutely no access to a high school. This one just feels a little far for Boulder Hill. I don't think we can afford to build one at the moment, but I wouldn't mind maybe considering having one over in this area. Now, behind the high school, both of these expansions go on top. So we could consider placing something back here. And we could even do an extension of Valentine Park. This I built off camera. I just made it into its own little district, but essentially I've got some brick walls or stone walls protecting the pedestrians from all the traffic. And then I just did a little bit of detailing. We got a little seating area. We have like what I'm pretending is like a little coffee shop, but it's really just a shed. Nobody sits in those seats. Over here, we have got a fountain, which I put a wall around. Here's the shed for the person who like runs the park. And then over here, I built out a playground. This is not a real playground, so it's not giving me any benefits, but I just spent some time doing some nice detailing and making this little area along the hillside. I think it's a good way to fill in this space that's next to a highway. I am patiently waiting for them to announce that they're coming out with a parks expansion, because building your own parks is one of my favorite things to do. What should we do with this open space? Should we just leave it for now? Because I feel like it would definitely have something going on in it. Ooh, Great Town, milestone 9 unlocked. Oh, we got a nice little infusion of cash, which is great. We got a supermarket, and we've unlocked EUNNA high density business. It might even be valuable for us to figure out how we could fit a car park back here. Am I about to spend my $200,000 on a parking lot? Yeah, we're going to do that. It costs $28,000 to run per month. We're going to increase, or 44, excuse me. We're going to increase the parking fee to $15. But I think having a big parking lot right there behind the high school, which also has just a lot of students, it's close to some of this downtown density we're starting to see. For the moment, we're just going to slap a bunch of trees over here and disguise the backside of the parking lot. Now, the question is, are we making enough money to turn back on our police station? Costs $44,000 a month. But now that we've got our police station, we've got cars running around, and they're going to start taking care of some of these crime issues we're seeing across the city. We're still in the positive for finances, which is great. Let's check on this school here. You are operating in 4 very large districts. You're nearly full. If we were to add an extension wing, it would cost an additional $5,000, but it would give you more students. I think we go for it. I'm fine with that. With our extra money, let's take a second and just look at where the other farming industry is. There's more farming over here. And because we're starting to expand down this way, I think what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to purchase a few tiles over here. If we bought both of these, it would cost us $64,000 with $21,000 a month upkeep. If I bought the third one, no, that's far too expensive. All right, we're going to purchase both of these tiles here. And I want to do a bit of expansion here to our farming industry. So we're going to go ahead and just turn this road kind of up this direction. Kind of following the bend of this hillside a little bit. We'll send this straight up here, and then right here, we're going to go ahead and curve up this way so that we're following kind of the ridge, I guess. Here, we'll send it straight on through, and I'm just going to send it completely straight. It's relatively flat in that area. Now, I wouldn't mind having an additional connection. Right now, we only have one small bridge there. So what if we expanded with this road here and we just went straight across? Now we have a secondary connection over here. Now let's go into our specialized industries and let's build out a few more things we need here. Let's see what our production looks like. We have a surplus of vegetables and a surplus of cotton, but we could do with way more grain. So I think we should make that happen. Let's grab, where am I going? Let's grab here, Specialized Industries. We're going to place one of these buildings, I think, right along this main road. We'll send it straight on up to the edge of the property we have. Down and over here. So we got one guy here. I would like to see an additional road through here. So maybe what we do is turn on the view to see the natural resource. Send this road straight along here. We'll place another farm over this way. All right, so now we got two guys here, which is great. How many do we have in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 2 more fields to unlock one of the unique buildings. We didn't have the biggest surplus for our vegetables, so I think what we'll do is we'll send this here. And then I just need 1 more, and we'll have enough farming to unlock that special building. And we now have the dairy house, which I'm excited to build. I can't actually remember what it does. We're going to find out in a moment. All right, so this is going to come all the way along here, all the way along here. Send this over this direction. We'll send this down to here. There we go. So now we've got brand new farms over here. In between parts, I'll take care of detailing them so we've got similar detail to this other side. But let's go ahead and just look at this dairy house here for a moment. I'm going to first give this area its own zoning, or own district. We'll just send it over here. Nothing too crazy. It's not even going to be pretty at the moment. All right, we've got Orson Farms. Great. What is the benefit of building out the dairy house? Plus 2% industrial efficiency, plus 2% export profits city-wide. It does have low air pollution and medium noise pollution with some ground pollution. If I recall, it's not too big. Yeah, it's a decent sized building. Where could we place this dairy building? We have to worry about the air pollution going out this direction. So we could consider placing it kind of over here at the top of this farm area, or we could consider maybe sneaking it into another section of our city. For now, we could place it over here, but I almost feel like this building needs a little bit of a complex around it. It needs to feel special. Now we've got our brand new dairy house. So this is requiring vegetables and livestock. Now we are importing livestock because I'm not producing that locally, but it does produce food. And we're getting more exports, which is fantastic. All right, so just quickly off camera, I went ahead and did a little bit more detailing throughout our city here. Around Willow Terrace, I added in a bunch of boulders and trees just to disguise any area where we had some cliffs showing through. And now I think Willow Terrace matches Boulder Hill pretty nicely. I do have to say, all around, I really prefer the medium density terraced housing to the medium density semi-detached. I think this just looks so much nicer, and I feel like it fits better with our downtown area and just looks a bit higher density, I guess, than some of these more single family style looking homes. I also went ahead and put some light tree work around the fields in Orson Farms. I think this area is going to need a lot more expansion, and I would like to do a bit more of low density residential over here, something similar to what we did originally with Elizabeth Crossing, especially as we begin to maybe encroach a bit on Pinewood Acres. And the last thing that I did was I went ahead and added in just a small little water collection pond here around our highway. I can't anticipate needing to build much here, and so I thought it would be nice to add a little bit of a water feature in this area. It's nothing too crazy. I did a tiny bit of rock work, did a bit of trees, but all around it looks pretty good. And I'm loving seeing people use this slip lane. It's making me think that in addition to this road here being a 4-lane road, that we might need to one day consider turning Garland Street into a larger major thoroughfare, or at least take this first section of Garland Street and upgrade that. But that's something we'll leave for a future episode. So for now, I think that's where we're going to leave this part here. If you guys have any suggestions or feedback, leave them in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.